Hello, everyone. I'm Janet Anderson. I call to order the Town of Lewisboro Planning Board meeting for Tuesday, November 18th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. So for everyone here, the exit is the way you came in. The exits to my left are for emergencies only. In order to comply with the open meetings law, we must meet in person. We don't have the capacity for the public to attend by Zoom, nor can we stream this meeting to YouTube. We will post an audio recording of this meeting to the town website, and all the materials we consider at this meeting are available on the agenda packet that's posted for this meeting. Members of the public can always express their views by mail or by email to planning@lewisborony.gov. Kirsten Conrad, our Planning Board Administrator, has confirmed that the meeting has been duly noticed and legal notice requirements are fulfilled. Joining me tonight from the town of Lewisboro are members of the Planning Board, Paul Fusco, John Guzmano, Charlene Indelicato, and Bruce Thompson. So we're confirming we have a quorum, and thus we can conduct the business of the board and vote on any of the matters that come before us. Also here are Jan Johannesson from KSCJ Consulting. Council Judge Siebert is here from Keenan Bean. Planning Board Administrator, as I mentioned, Kirsten Conrad, Building Inspector Kevin Kelly, and CAC Co-Chair Sally Frank. So with that, let's get started. The first item on our agenda is a public hearing, calendar number 08-02PB, JVG Estates at 1437 Route 35, South Salem, New York. This is the request for the release of a performance bond. Let me just say, a public hearing is really for the board to hear any concerns of the public, and any comments should be addressed to the planning board, not to the applicant.
Janet, if I can interrupt, if anyone wants to sign up to make public comment on this matter?
I think everyone here is actually for that. All right, so I think we are, so yes, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Vito Di Matteo, one of the principals at JVG.
Okay.
And requesting the release of the performance bond.
Perfect.
The project is now fully complete.
Yeah, and I think we have had we could get an update from Jan, who's looked at it.
We completed an inspection about 3 weeks ago after the final course of asphalt was put down, and everything is 100% complete, including the mitigation.
Great. Okay, so in anticipation of this, we ask for a resolution to be prepared. It has been distributed to the board, and I'm going to ask Judd to review it.
Yeah, the resolution is for the release of the performance bond for the JVG Estates Bluestone subdivision. Initially approved as Holy Siguranza. The performance bond was initially posted after the subdivision plan was filed in 2017. The original bond was in the amount of a little over $272,000. Thereafter, there was a request made once the project had been completed to a certain point to reduce that security to a little over $105,000. The board approved that request in 2018. The request now is for the release of all of that performance security, or that bond, which the town holds. The resolution provides for that, and we're now in a position where the planning board can do this on its own without going to the town board. Under prior code, we had kind of the yo-yo of having to get up to the town board and then back to you. The newly amended code allows the board to do this directly. So the resolution provides for that release. There is one, not a condition, but a part of the release. Under the code, there needs to be a 10% retainage held for 1 year. And the resolution provides for that. That'll be slightly over $27,000 to be held for 1 year.
Thank you. Okay, so I know some people have come in. If anyone is here for the public hearing on JVG Estates, please wave your hand or sign up and we will work on that. Okay, so does any member of the board have any comments? Okay, so I'd look for a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Nope. Okay, so ladies first, we'll give it to, and you can be the second. How about that, John? Okay, so, okay, so that's, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we've had the discussion of the resolution. I guess I'd look for a motion to approve this resolution. Bruce,
I move.
and a second?
I'll second.
Second by Paul. Okay, now, any further discussion, any questions on this?
Yep.
It reflects tonight's public hearing, the comments that Judd just reviewed, so all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the motion carries. You have a copy of this, so you see?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Give you a hand there. Okay, thank you. So.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, great. Sorry, the next item on our agenda is a decision, it's calendar number 02-25PB. This is Tacona Cantina at Goldens Bridge Village Center, New York State Route 22, Goldens Bridge, New York. As part of an expansion for the restaurant, it's an application for a change of use from beauty shop to the full-service restaurant. Is anyone here for this? Okay, I'm going to say that we did review this in October. We reviewed the plans, we confirmed the parking calculations. We agreed at that point to waive the public hearing, and we asked for a resolution to be prepared. So I'll ask Jan to hit the highlights of the resolution.
Sure, it's a site development plan approval resolution. The applicant's proposing to expand his current business into the former salon. This will be an expansion of the full-service restaurant. They're proposing counter seating with 10 seats, removal of an existing bathroom, and its replacement with a storage room. And the space will be connected to the existing restaurant via 2 internal wall openings. The applicant has made application to the health department for the change of use, but hasn't received the approval as of yet. There is no additional parking requirement because the former use and the proposed use have the same parking requirement. The applicant submitted a business plan, which is referenced in the resolution. The planning office made the referral to the county under 239M because of proximity to a state road. It's a type 2 action under SECRA. The only substantive comment is to obtain health department approval before the signing of the plan.
Okay, and I should mention that we did, the board did receive the resolution, had a chance to review it before this meeting. Is there any questions? And if not, I'd look for a resolution to approve this, look for a motion to approve the resolution that Jan just described. Charlene?
So moved.
Okay, and seconded by Bruce. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that motion carries. The next item on the agenda is calendar number 03-25PB. This is the field solar array at 59 Todd Road in Katona, New York, an application for a ground-mounted mounted solar array. So again, we reviewed this in October. The applicant at that point had to go to the ZBA. We have received confirmation that the ZBA did approve this. In our meeting in October, we waived a public hearing and we asked for a resolution. And again, that resolution's been shared with the board. So Jan, if you could review that with us.
Site development plan approval for the Fields residents, a Tier 2 solar application consisting of 56 ground-mounted solar panels, subject to the new zoning code. Tier 2 solar is allowable, subject to site plan approval by the planning board. A very small portion of the solar array is located in the front yard, which is prohibited by code, and the applicant obtained an area variance from the zoning board on October 22nd. It's a type 2 action under SECRA. There's no wetland or wetland buffer disturbance. Land disturbance is under 5,000 square feet, so there's not a stormwater permit. The conditions are really just satisfying the comments that were in my memo from last meeting and submitting final sets of plans to be signed by the chair and staff. So if you have any questions on any of the comments, please feel free to reach out to me. Just want to make sure, I know timing is an issue for you. So you're going to have to prepare that final set of plans. I think it's just one sheet. I know there's a handful of sheets. I'll have to address the comments, resubmit those in final form. They'll get signed. You need those signed plans to get it done.
Yeah, so as quickly as you do it, I will do my best to get in, Kirsten's in touch and I'm close by, so as soon as we can get those, I know you want to get going on it, so I will.
So
I will
it sounds
be-
like we have a conditional approval pending a response and submission to the building department.
To the planning office.
First plan.
Yeah, you have to submit plans that they'll be signed by the Kellogg Sessions, KSCJ, whatever, CJ. And by Kirsten and me, and then you can go to the building department. So it's
Okay, so you're catching me, I haven't seen the request, so maybe Kelly in my office has. Yeah.
Okay. So the memo was prepared for the last meeting. So you should have.
So the issues that I recall were more about the height, and we talked about 3 ways to mitigate the height, which was seismic separation, keeping it all under 7 feet. It would follow the contour. So I can give that to you in writing. Was there anything over and above
There's
that?
going to be, I think you're going to have to clarify a couple things in details. I have the memo from last meeting, there were 7 comments. First one was just, and I think the planning board had referred the matter to the building inspector, so we need to, so you've been out there and obviously went through the CBA, so that's done. Indication that it's in the front yard setback, that's been resolved through the variance.
Okay.
You're going to note on the plan that there's no tree removal? Right, that's correct?
Yep,
There's no tree
not a
removal.
problem.
So that would be a note on the plan. You have to demonstrate there's separation distances between footings and foundations and the septic and well. So
just show setbacks from the
setbacks,
septic.
yeah.
Okay. These are all easy things. We can
Very,
get that in
nothing,
20.
there's a little additional silt fence that we asked for, and then it was the height question. So you're going to have to demonstrate that at no point are you over 15 feet, because there was some topography and.
Sure.
So, yeah, you're going to step it down, so you'll.
So, do you need this to be from the contractor or from the engineer of record?
Whoever prepared the set of plans, it was,
So Green Hybrid prepared the plans that were stamped by
Green
CEO.
Hybrid.
So Green Hybrid, okay. So they can come from Green Hybrid. Yeah, we can get that to you in
I
24
think there was like
hours.
7 or
Okay.
8 plan sheets that
And-
were the plan set.
I will get to it as soon as, well, they'll go to Jan's office for signature first, then they'll come here for signature, and we'll get it as quickly as we
What I would
can.
do is submit like a check set after you've made the revision, send us a PDF. This way we can go over it in an email.
We'll send you an email with the plans, with the notes,
With the revisions.
PDF. Do you
This
want
way we can-
originals as well?
Just send us the check set as a PDF so we can review it, make sure everything is 100%.
Good.
And then we'll say, go to print.
Do you want us to cloud the updates with that?
You know, if it's helpful, I mean, you can, you don't have to.
Not a problem.
Okay, so we have had the resolution described. I'd look for a motion to approve that resolution.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Paul?
I can second it.
Seconded by John. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck. I know you're kind of under the gun. I hope the weather is helpful as
He's
you...
invited me over for Thanksgiving.
How nice.
No power failures.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda are are under the topic of waiver of site development plan approval. This is calendar number 03-09PB, Verizon Wireless at the Vista Fire Department, 377 Smith Ridge Road, South Salem, New York. And it's an application for a special use permit renewal. Hi.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Angela Pocha, and I'm an associate at the law firm of Snyder & Snyder. Our office represents Verizon in connection with this matter. As you're all aware, Verizon has an existing public utility wireless telecommunications facility at the Vista Fire Department located at 377 Smith Ridge Road. The facility received special use permit approval on September 14th, 2010, and was last renewed for a 5-year period in 2020. So in accordance with the town code and the 2020 approval resolution, Verizon is seeking a renewal of its special use permit. Please note that no changes to the facility are being proposed at this time, and as demonstrated by our application materials, the facility continues to operate in compliance with all applicable laws. It's our understanding that the board is intending to renew the special permit without an expiration date due to Verizon's status as a co-locator on the tower, but that a public hearing is still required. So we are just respectfully requesting that you set the public hearing date for next month's meeting if possible.
Okay, yeah, we did have a memo on that.
Yep. All of the appropriate information was submitted as part of the application, which included the EAF, the RF report, structural certification, and as-built drawings. We really had no comments on the submission materials. Sometimes the board will ask us to do a site walk before you extend or renew the special permit, so we'd be happy to do that if you liked. And we noted that the special permit for the tower itself that's issued to Insight Wireless is expired December 16, 2024. Not really a matter for Verizon, but to put it on the board's radar, and I think we talked about maybe Kirsten sending a letter to Insight and letting them know to make an application.
Yeah, I mean, it's, what we have tended to do is have the carriers on top of the tower say, okay, you get an indefinite, and then we'll go after the tower people for the conditions on the ground. So I do think it's important, if the board agrees, we'll ask Kirsten to be the first touch to ask them to come in for a special use permit. And get that done. I don't think that really should, well, unless, again, anybody feels differently, I don't think that should affect our going forward with the carrier.
Not at all. I think that there should be a site visit only to, sort of look at it in anticipation of the cell tower.
Should we do that now or wait until we get the cell tower guys in? We could do it now in case there's snow later, right?
Right.
Okay. So I'd look for agreement to set, we can do a public hearing by consensus in December and ask for resolution to be prepared for an extension so we can do that at the same meeting.
Yes.
Okay. So that's Jan, right? You do the resolution? Okay. Thank you. So that's what we're going to do for that. And
Thank you.
don't go anywhere. The next item on our agenda is calendar number 6-12PB. This is Verizon Wireless at Leon Levy Preserve, which is actually at 1411 Route 35 in South Salem, New York. And again, an application for the renewal of a special use permit.
So again, my name is Angela Pocha. I'm an associate at the law firm of Snyder & Snyder. Our office also represents Verizon in connection with this public utility wireless telecommunications facility at the Leon Levy Preserve. Similar to the last application, this special use permit was previously approved. This one was amended in 2015 and last renewed for a 5-year period in 2020. No changes are being proposed to this facility either at this time, so we're just seeking for public hearing date to be set to renew this special permit as well.
Okay. So unlike Insight Tower, who had a special permit and that expired, oh, I'm stealing your thunder, I should ask. The American Tower never had a permit. So we don't really, And I know there's been a concern about the sort of ground conditions there. We don't really have a way to get them, because the tower existed before
Long before the code.
the code required that. However, we understand that the access road is in rough shape, and it's not necessarily even on the property that the tower is on, but on the access, and that there's some kind of rough conditions there. So I'd like to ask, if the board agrees, Kevin to take a look at
I was
it.
actually out there last week. I was out there last week.
Oh,
Because they were doing some equipment replacement in the building itself.
at the tower? Okay.
And the inside of it was a mess. So we filed a complaint that to get rid of the debris, open panel boxes that, breaking that didn't have protection, and they were dealing with it. But yes, I can tell you that road is a little bit challenging. And I'm not sure whose responsibility it is to keep that access road.
I don't know the terms of the easement and because the tower the access crosses property, and who it is required. But I'm going to turn that, go ahead.
I looked at this the last time this was
Yeah.
in front of us.
Yeah, I
And the real issue lies with that front section. That's on a subdivision plat, and you've got 3 lots around that section of the road that it's really their responsibility.
The subdivision?
Or the
The lots.
fee owner.
Yeah, the fee owner.
Which is all one person, correct?
Yeah.
Is it,
So I think we turn it, this is now not a planning board issue, but it's kind of a
It's like-
building issue,
yeah,
right?
it's
I
more
think
of a
we turn
building
it to you for enforcement and,
is
Action.
there a problem with the fire department getting to this section? Because that may be,
Someone needs to probably take a grader to that road, just to grade it, get rid of some of the ruts.
Mhm.
Somebody has recently cut down trees that were blocking it in certain places. Who did that, I don't know. If you have that resolution, we can reach out to.
Yeah, I'll pull the email from, I had sent an email.
Okay.
yeah, I remember that. We
Yeah.
went through the
I'll
whole
get it.
thing.
I
Yeah.
can talk to their council and have them probably have it taken care of.
I think it would be, well, certainly better for access for if the carrier needs to get up there. We don't, as I said, we don't really have a special permit for the tower, but I think it would help make sure that access is available.
It's not going to be the whole road, keep in mind. It's, they don't own all that, they own part of it.
Right.
Right,
Then it switches over.
right.
The real issue is right at 35, like the first 100 feet.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been up there for a while, but yeah, I mean,
You know,
I leave it to
I was
you.
there several years ago, and it seemed that the real issue was as you came up off 35, but
Well, I agree, but Kevin?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. So again, for this matter, if the board agrees, we'll set a public hearing for
Yes.
December and ask John to prepare a resolution for that meeting as well.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice night.
So the next item on the agenda is calendar number 04-25 PB. This is the Creamery at the Borough, 873 Route 35, Cross River, New York. And this is an application for a change of use from indoor recreation to fast food establishment.
Hi,
Hi.
good evening. My name is Mark Schulman, I'm the architect of the project, and happy to give a presentation.
Sure.
Okay. With the easel right here.
Yep.
Does that work?
Mark, can you bring that up actually a little closer?
Yeah, it's probably hard to see.
You could bring it up, we don't.
Yeah. We okay?
We're great. Thank you.
Okay. So, right now, so we're actually proposing,
Sorry, go ahead.
so we're actually proposing, so on the, so this is located at the borough, And the building that we're talking about is this building located in the southeast corner of the site, which was previously a garage, previously a gym. It's actually the current use is storage right now. That is the current use based on the last site plan approval. And the proposal is to convert it to takeout, change that use from storage to takeout. So see where it's currently located. The building is 481 square feet. It's, of the 481 square feet, there's about, I'll tell you what it is. It's really 172 square feet of public access, and there is an ADA toilet that's being proposed there as well. This is a little bit larger plan. So right now, there's an existing double door, existing building. The exterior is finished. There are some minor modifications we're proposing, but essentially, it's going to be a takeout ice cream, candy, market, all affiliated with the borough right now. So it's not just ice cream, it's candy, it's also frozen takeout food that people can get, again, affiliated with the borough. So multiple things that will be takeout from this facility. Currently on the site, so this is the existing site today as it is, and this is what we are proposing. But based on the current configuration, there are 27 parking spaces and 1 handicap parking space. In converting the storage to takeout, we need an additional 4.81 parking spaces. That brings the total to 29 parking spaces. So what we are proposing is to put 29 parking spaces. That also kicks you into an additional handicap parking space as well. So the 2 additional parking spaces being proposed are in this driveway as you exit out onto 35, where right now you can see a current indentation. So there's some minor modifications of the curve here to accommodate 2 parallel parking spaces in this location. And then we're going to be restriping this current area that's near the handicap ramp to have 2 handicap spaces as well. So those are the site modifications.
And it looked like you're going to, sorry, can I ask questions while you're going through? Or do you want?
Yeah.
Okay. It looked like what you were doing is also going more towards I guess that's the west, adding more space there to fit another parking space in? Because to fit
This
the...
is the existing condition right now.
Right.
So
And
we're
aren't
not-
you,
I'm
so
not
when you...
changing anything on,
You're
we're
not.
not changing anything to this site.
Just restriping.
It's
Just restriping?
It's only restriping.
Okay, it looked like
There is a
that,
difference
in order to
between
fit...
the existing and proposed there, though. Because you're showing like a dotted line where, over by the North Salem Road entrance, there's like a half a space that looks like you're pushing.
On the north side.
On
the
this
other
side over here.
No. I think up on...
Talking up here by the storm drain?
Yeah, I thought it looked like that moved wider, right?
You
In
have
o-
a dimension of 4.5.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yes.
In order,
Yeah.
in order to fit the...
Yes.
The
yes.
2 spaces
That
in,
is correct.
you have to
That is
push
correct.
over.
My apologies, that is correct. There is a curb modification there to it, yes, to get that additional parking on that striping. That is correct.
Okay, so I remember as I exit there, that's pretty steep. Can you fit that in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is that, the shed that's there, the little, on the north side?
So this shed is currently there now.
Storage for our outdoor furniture.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we brought all that stuff in
Today,
today, actually,
Uh-huh.
getting ready for the winter. So got a short story about this project. When I first started kind of dealing with the health department, I didn't know exactly, I shot for the stars.
I'm sorry, could you say your name for the
Yeah, so I'm
recording?
Skaz Getzai. I'm one of the owners for the borough.
Thank you.
Actually, the property, this is John. It was a long road with the health department, but I was also looking at this from 50,000 square feet. Okay, I ended up settling at 35, which I'm pretty proud about. That garage used to be our personal training studio. It's where John and I used to operate our business, and then we moved to Apex Fitness down behind the Greenway Market. So what we did and it was kind of like a crapshoot when we first started, is we repurposed the third-story square footage, and we ended up getting it through the health department as an extension of the cafe, so we can sell our remaining product, all our frozen stuff. So this isn't a standalone ice cream, okay? This isn't standalone candy. We're gonna be selling all our frozen products, frozen soups, Cinnabons, frozen cookie dough.
How many
right?
businesses are in there?
So right now, there's us, the yoga studio, and an office.
Okay, you have 3 signs out front, though, right?
Yeah.
Are those
So
all
us-
yoga, or?
Us, no, I'm sorry, us, yoga, and 2 offices.
Okay. And the 2 offices are on the 3rd floor, do they?
No, one of them's on the first floor,
Oh, okay,
and then one of them's on the 3rd floor.
got it.
So the 3rd floor was roughly about 750 square feet, and then we condensed it down to under 150, and then we
Was that
repurposed-
like on the original plans?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
there was office and?
Yeah. And then I repurposed that square footage to the garage, and I shot for the stars, got consultants involved, and we went back and forth in terms of how we would run this operation, right? How we would get through past the dipping wells. It's all in that paperwork that I submitted, right? So it's, each product that you guys see that's there is actually approved by the health department, including equipment use. There were certain things that we weren't allowed to use. For example, what you would see at a Carvel, the floor to ceiling, or not really floor to ceiling, but from the ground up, where the units are, the soft serve units are about 6 feet, 7 feet tall. We're not allowed to use something like that. Okay, you can use countertop versions of it, right? Limited amount of flavors that we can have. We can't have north of 30. And if we're gonna have 30 flavors, each flavor has their own scoop. And then at the end of the night, we throw it into a commercial dishwasher. Right? All our products are pre-approved by the health department. And like I said, when we first started this, I didn't know if this was gonna get approved. So as I was going with the health department, hiring consultants, hiring engineers, it came out that this was possible. So that's how that started. I figured if I can get through the health department and they're okay with it, and I can get all my state approvals, then it's worth the argument to come over here to you guys and be like, hey, guys, I got the hard stuff done, and now I'm kind of at your mercy to kind of do the local stuff. But like I said, when I started this project, I shot from 50,000 feet. I ended up settling at 35. It was enough interest for John and myself to be able to come in here and offer another service to our town. You know, we are alumni here. We grew up here. We're raising our family here. We're coaches here. We're very involved, and we're asking just a minor change in our operating agreement. We're looking to actually occupy and use some property from 7 a.m. to 10. What we decide to do.
The back or everything?
Everything, okay? What we decide to do is something we don't know yet. We don't know what it's gonna be like during the winter. We don't know if it's gonna be worth it to keep it open during the day, right? But we know we have an opportunity where it interests us. and we went through the hard work.
You're already doing it on Friday, you have it open late.
No, we don't, not
That's what
anymore.
the
Yeah,
advertisement.
not anymore. No,
Oh, that stopped?
yeah, a while ago.
It's still on your Facebook.
Okay, so,
I do have,
but now I'm kind of,
Yeah.
I have a question, which is going to bring us back a few steps, but we
Yeah.
moved on really quick. Where you added those 2 extra spots in that traffic, if I remember here, is one way through that segment, right?
That's correct.
So people coming around will not know those spaces are there until they drive to them, and if there's cars there, they have to go back out and go all the way around, correct?
Yeah,
Yes. It used to be a two-way.
right.
It was a pull-off lane originally when it was an office building. And then we lucked down, we actually got it into a one-way, something we wanted to do. We had to get DOT approval for that, but it used to be a two-way lane, a pull-off lane. So you would come in, and then a car would pull over, and we were like, that's just crazy, let's just make it a one-way.
yeah, that was, I think that was in the original resolution.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of,
You're
I need
shifting
some.
from 7 to 10 now.
Yeah, I
in
need-
hours,
well,
which was
so-
not on any of the original plans.
Right,
or
that's what
business
I'm kind
plans.
That's
of,
the
we
proposed change to the
we have
operating.
2 different things. We have a, kind of, we're looking at change of use of the creamery, but we're also, I think, kind of looking at a new business plan and operation for the Borough Cafe itself, right? So
Well,
it's kind of both?
The borough will stay open from 7 to 4:30. That's our set hours for the borough.
Okay,
Right.
okay,
We're hoping to overlap the creamery from 3 to 10. But we also want our office spaces and our yoga studio to be able to operate 7 to 10 because it'll raise some issues. From my understanding, the only issue that I had to worry about is if there was an event over 100 people and I had to get cops involved and get a special permit.
I think the resolution said 50.
Was it 50?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's my misunderstanding. I thought it was 100. So that's kind of where we were like, hey, let's solve the issue and just be open 7 to 10. Guys, this is, we own the property. We also run the business.
Right.
Okay.
So I think what would be helpful, because to get maybe, because it used to say we had a plan for the Borough Cafe, we had a business plan for the yoga place that was,
You should have also received the,
and we got one now for the creamery.
Yeah.
So, and the creamery one does talk about going open later. If you want to change the yoga one or as well, or the offices, I think it would be really helpful to just get an update to that.
Okay.
And then we
Yeah.
can think about that
Yeah,
and look
that's
at it
okay,
in
that works.
context.
Number of employees, where are they going to park? Do you have an employee parking? And now it's going to be a lot more employees. If you're open longer,
so it takes us, so we operate with 2 employees at the borough Monday through Friday.
and the creamery will have,
1.
and the yoga studio?
She has 1 employee.
Okay. Do you have a place for?
So the way we have this, pretty much this arrangement is Antonio parks at our parking lot, right, for the last 2.5 years. We allow him to park here at night. He allows us to park there during the day when he's closed. From Baccio.
Right, but just have something in a business plan.
Sure.
That states
Sure.
what you're going to do, how many trucks you're going to have, because now you have the creamery, everything's trucked in.
Well, everything's already trucked in now, and deliveries really don't change. It's twice a week.
So, so the ice cream is coming with the other stuff?
Yes.
So everything comes
yeah,
together?
and everything is in there before we're open. So you're talking about 5 to 5:30 in the morning. We get our deliveries that come in, and it's mostly twice a week, sometimes 3. We tend to keep very quality control on pretty much all our product, right? We don't want anything kind of sitting out for you guys. So we keep a very limited control of product and kind of how we're ordering everything.
There was some discussion as to the sidewalk. Wasn't there some?
I'm all for it. You guys should know where I stand with this. We're willing to do our part. It's just, we need other people to do their part before we do ours. We're kind of out on the island in the corner there. But we hopefully have another project coming up soon where you can kind of see what we're trying to accomplish here for sidewalks and crosswalks. But I can't speak for that. If Mirage did his, Chestnut did his, and they needed to tie into ours, we're willing to do the infrastructure needed for you guys to tie in.
Right.
I just think there's a lot more moving parts where everyone else has to get on board before we do. We know we won't get approval if we just did ours. Where are you going to connect to? But we're willing to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
We spearheaded. We love the idea. My kids are going to school here, so it'd be awesome. Hey, I'm working at the cafe. I walk right over from school, so we're all for that.
And we really can't, it's kind of pushing a string. We can't get the DOT to do stuff there,
Yeah.
so
I mean, we could do sidewalks
Well-
without curb cuts.
Yeah, but then that's a liability.
then it goes into
Nothing.
Yeah.
nothing. I think I'm more, so now I'm gonna ask some questions that
Sure,
just to
absolutely.
try to get my head around this. So when people come for ice cream, and they're standing around, they can't,
How do they get there unless they're driving?
no, they're gonna drive. But
That's
let's just
pretty
say
much
they're
what-
driving, they're parking, they
Yeah.
go in there, they get it. Can they go into the borough to sit down, or the borough's gonna be
The
closed?
borough will probably be most likely closed.
All right, and,
This is a true grab and go.
okay,
We don't
well.
have the space.
Because you do have picnic tables out, and I think that's one of the things, I think we should probably,
Ideally, our best case, what we would really love, and we don't really want to try to stir up any problems, is when the borough closes at 4:30 and it's summertime, go use the patio. go use the deck.
Why wouldn't you?
But that's not really, I don't want to stir up any problems for myself and being like, hey, now we have seating. So if I have to tell everyone, no, it's a true grab and go, get your stuff and kind of go.
Yeah.
But
If you're going
in
to
my
change your
dream
business
world,
plan, then change your business
yeah,
plan.
in my dream world, I would love to be in a situation where we get our second crew coming in for work right around 3:30. We start opening up the creamery, and it's a beautiful summer night, and you could use the patio and the picnic table, and the borough's closed.
Okay, so
So-
I think one of the things we should talk about is sending this to the building inspector for compliance, because we should ask whether the picnic tables actually add seating. And I know that there's something called seasonal outdoor seating. Can we leave the picnic tables out there all year? I'm also going to ask, because I don't see it here, but there were on some plans, you have an
almost
ice
positive.
machine, right? And the ice machine is right on, it's going to be added to the property line. I know the garage is already there, but the ice machine will be right up against the side of the building?
Yes, and that's
Yeah.
still up
So,
for discussion, too.
I want to ask whether that is you need a variance.
Take a look at this.
Okay, so that,
But Scott, what were you thinking about this? I was just asking, what are you going to do about restrooms?
There's a bathroom.
there's a
inside.
bathroom in there.
There's an ADA bathroom.
There's an ADA bathroom, so instead of that storage space that we had, we decided, hey, it's already,
In the creamery?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's an ADA bathroom to kind of, our goal, yeah, like we ran, like we were going back and forth with it, how long are we gonna keep the borough open? It's
Yeah.
not a dinner spot,
No,
okay? It's not a dinner spot.
no.
We want it to be an event spot, and we've had some interest. So it would be nice down the road to be able to kind of launch something like that.
Yeah, I just
But-
want to bring up one issue relative to the parking, because I know parking obviously is one of those issues, is that there's, these parking calculations are straight calculations without taking advantage of any kind of shared parking ratio, which I think would absolutely apply to this project. So it's straight up per code without a shared parking analysis. So I think the reality.
You don't have, while you may use or share parking with Baccio, you're not relying upon it from a zoning perspective, so it's
Right.
not, a formal agreement doesn't need to be.
But I think you
Right,
mean,
but
you
I
have
mean
hours,
even-
different
but I-
hours.
Yeah.
But I
Within the
even mean
business.
within the, with the mixed-use nature of the tenants that are there. So the people that are yoga are also coming down and having a cup of, they're having coffee. There is a mixed-use component
Yeah.
that we would normally take advantage of on a shared parking analysis. We haven't done so here, but I'm just saying, that capacity potentially
Because you
exists.
don't, I mean, the creamery only needs one or two spots or whatever it was.
Right.
And then I think
Technically,
my,
based on the code.
And then you
I
have,
think
you
my
have some
outdoor seating
signage up
comments.
saying
Yeah,
for
so-
yoga
so- yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
so
like that.
Well, yeah, let's just, so we did receive, we received a memo, and we've already responded. In fact, this set of documents here has already responded to the comments, we got from your office.
Right, and I'll say, I didn't have total time to get through them all. They
Right.
sort of,
I didn't-
There were 5 comments, and I can walk you through them very quickly if you'd like. But one of them quickly was, are there existing services to this space right now? And the answer is yes, there is an existing incoming water surface and outgoing sanitary line.
okay,
that
so
comes
they
off the
were
borough.
put in at the time when
when we
you
were.
did all your
so,
other work.
Yeah, when we took over from a storage unit and made it a personal training unit, training center, yes, we did work to throw a mop sink into the place
Ah, okay.
with water and waste. That's how we kind of cleaned our floor and mat during the whole time when we were personal training. But we did jump the gun, and we did some work when we were doing the work on the other place. And my condolences, learned my lesson for that one. But there was existing water, there was existing waste. I've had a plumber test it. We did a pressurized test, and then we did a water test as well. Everything shoots right into the basement. It also connects into our water system that the health department needed us to install to have this. So there's no really corners cut. It was, at the time we were dealing with the health department, it's slap on the wrist, make Lewisboro mad, and satisfy the health department, okay? So I took the chance of satisfying the health department, knowing that I would come back here and pay for it. But they needed to test the system as well. They were actually curious to see how we got the water there. They came in, they did all that. They wanted to make sure that our tie-in actually tied into the chlorine system as well. And then we factored in the gallons that we needed stored for both places to operate. We have a water meter in our property that we have to report daily chlorine and water levels. We're not using nowhere near the amount we're actually approved for. I think we're averaging about 330 gallons a day. We're approved for just under 600. We truly are a grab-and-go business. That's our model. And we figured for something like this small, the amount of square footage, we're not looking for seating. But like I said, I have kids, and it's nice out on a summer night. If the borough is closed, go use the patio, right? Go use the, what do we have down? Yes, the picnic tables. So we're up for ideas, kind of like, what do you guys think? We're excited, we're interested in it. We got the right approvals from the health department so we can actually operate this place.
Yeah, I don't think we're here to slap you on the
Yeah,
wrist.
I figured, I know. I just wanted to
wanna-
kind of fill you guys in on
Right.
how this came about, because
Yeah,
I did tell you guys it was storage.
Right.
And then as I hired consultants and they saw me get rid of square footage, they were like, hey, this used to be a personal training, repurpose it while you can now. And then I just kind of got into a situation where it's either I do it now or I'll never be able to do it again.
Okay.
So I took the shot.
So let me just address the other comments. So we talked about the operating agreement. Comment number, so the first comment had to do with the parking analysis and getting construction details for the expanded parking and the handicap signage.
Yeah.
So we actually got a drawing from Alfonsetti Engineering that addresses that comment, so that's here, and email that to you.
Although I thought I saw on one of these, it looked like the parking space is straightened out again, as opposed to the sort of angles that were,
No, the ones here have their angle.
That should be,
The ones here are angled
Are
just
they?
because
Okay.
of how to come in. It was a lot easier.
yeah,
and
because
more
I think
efficient.
that looks, I should probably say that you guys weren't here, I mean, you got approval and then you went off, and I don't think we've talked to you, but I do think that from an overall attractiveness of the building, the building looks
Gorgeous.
very nice. I
Thank
mean,
you.
compared to what
Thank you.
was there previously, and just, we see a lot of renderings, and you don't always know how they're going to look, and I think it looked very nice. So we should
Awesome.
kind of get
Thank
that
you.
out there.
Hey, we grew up here. We decided to come back and raise our families here,
Right.
so we wanted something nice for
Right.
ourselves as well.
So, okay, and we just want to make sure, okay, you were talking about that.
So we got details and signage, so that's
Right.
here, that's been submitted.
I'll have- right.
There was a request for the Helms Group plans dated January 17, 23. I have those, I've issued them, I also have a hard copy I can give to Kirsten as well. We talked about the water sewage, exterior lighting was,
It's a page before.
so exterior lighting, it showed on the reflecting ceiling plan, did not show on the elevations, but right now, three things. One is that there is a canopy here that will tie in with the existing canopy. That's the entrance to the borough from the back, so it's a wood canopy. It extends out 2 feet. That's being proposed on the facade, right at the cover, so there's a little bit of cover as you walk in the door. There is a blade sign proposed right here, the creamery at the borough. And then there are
Will that be
three-
lit?
No.
Okay.
No.
3 exterior light fixtures, one here, one flanking the entrance on both sides, and then one around the back just to provide some light on the side of the building.
Okay.
So they've all been bubbled, so all 5 comments we have addressed and have submitted.
Okay, so if there's an ice cream machine on the left there, how will that fit with the light?
Right here.
It'll be-
It'll be below. the
It'll be
lights
below
on the
that?
side. Yes.
Okay, and there
Yeah.
also was a water spigot coming out of there, what's that
Yes.
for?
That's just to water the green giants that we planted.
Ah, okay, so it's just a,
Hydrangeas. Yeah, and the
okay,
hydrangeas and all that.
landscaping, not for
Yeah.
people to wash their
No.
feet before they come into the.
No,
Okay,
no.
and then, so the other question I have, and I just don't know, I mean, it kind of goes to the safety aspect that some people were asking about, is are there going to be any lights in the parking lot? Are there any now? And
So-
do you think if people park at the other end of the parking lot, is it going to be safe to walk?
So I'll speak for myself, kind of the way I did this. I know I bought on a residential neighborhood, so the last thing I really want is a commercial
Right.
lights blaring. I think it's ugly. I don't think it belongs in our town. I think there is, okay? I threw a light, a solar light right by each parking lot. I leave the lights, yeah, it's parking space. I leave the lights on at the borough at night all the time, the outdoor lights. I think with this, we'll be fine.
There's a light by each parking spot? I didn't know that.
Solar.
Like
Yeah.
a little.
Yeah, so
solar.
right up against the fence, so at night, you'll see 2 feet in front of you when you're parking towards the stone wall. I also know that the lights for the borough and this should be enough. We're not opposed to it. I just kind of want to take your lead on
I
it.
sort of
think
agree.
it's-
I don't want,
I
but
think it's
you know,
ugly.
if
So-
there's apt to be kids running around, although I don't know if kids come at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I mean, they might be the 3
older-
o'clock in the
yeah.
afternoon, yeah. So I just,
And usually
I
it's-
just worry about safety from that aspect.
We're not opposed to it, guys, right? If that's what you guys want us to do and take a lead on throwing parking lights, we're all for it. I know a couple of the neighbors that live back there. I went to school with them, right? I know them. I've lived here my whole life. Last thing I want is that to look like a true commercial parking lot. It's blaring lights, kind of like Cameron's.
I
So I'm all
defer
for
to you guys
any
on what you think
recommendation.
Yeah,
for
Baccio.
adequate safety.
What did Baccio do back there? Because they have some.
Baccio didn't do anything. The back
Staff-
parking lot?
staff only.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's staff only. They didn't do
That's
anything.
only, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I think if, like the way if I can get power to the shed, that's kind of there. Then I could throw 2 more outdoor lights there. I think between there, the ice cream and the borough, I think you could see in the parking lot and the lights that are there.
yeah,
So,
I'm
I
just,
think it looks good, it goes with our town, it goes
It's
with our
reliability.
neighborhood, so I'm all for that.
Right.
I'd
I'm just-
rather not have that, to be honest with you, but that, like, again, that's kind of whatever you guys, how you guys want us to address this. We're all for it.
I think I only know the problem, which is I want to make sure that people are safe if
course.
they're walking in there.
Yeah.
I turn it over to you guys to come with a recommendation.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and if you think there's plenty of light with what you've got,
I think there is,
And then-
especially with cars pulling in and out.
then and maybe that's something also, Kevin, I don't know if there's requirements for night lighting or anything, but I would,
I think it's up to your, I think the way, did they adopt new lighting with the zoning code? I have to take a look at it.
we did adopt new lighting code, but I don't know what it says.
Whether it's
as
specifically addressed.
to this, or how it addresses safety. But, you know, I mean, we heard, we heard a couple of things from the community. I mean, I should also probably say this, we can't say anything about competition. We only enforce code, and there's no code that says you can't have 2 businesses the same kind within 20 feet of each other, or anything like that. So but I did hear a lot of concerns about safety, and I think the place that you guys can deal with it is in your parking lot. How you do it, what needs, I don't know what it is, but, you know, I'll just turn that over to you. It looked like, Bruce, do you have?
Brucey, what do you think? How do you
Yeah,
think we
just-
should address this?
Reasonable, come with a suggestion. You put a lot of thought into this, hats off to you. Just keep it going.
So the
I'm not
other,
here-
yeah.
I don't have a statistic.
Yeah,
that says-
Right. I think the other thing that I would say is if people are going to be sitting at the tables and the borough itself is going to be closed, you might want to think about some kind of garbage containers
Yeah,
that,
we already have them outside.
but do they go in at night?
No,
Okay.
no, so the garbage containers, we leave a set of garbage containers outside. It's 2 trash cans, and then we have, during our peak summer, John and I also left 2 more out by the magnolia tree, just because it was nice out, most of the people were staying outside. The ones by the magnolia tree, as it got colder, we took out, but we always leave 2 outdoor trash cans on the deck.
Okay. So, because that, I think, is important. And then, if people are going to be going, like, to the picnic tables or stuff, is there any lighting? Oh, you leave the borough lighting on?
We also,
Because that was the other, the different, I only learned, well, I guess I'm trying to figure out what's open and what's not. So if the yoga place that
you'll hit
is
the
going to be
deck.
open.
Like the deck with the light that are on the deck,
Yeah,
it'll hit the deck. It won't reach the picnic table.
okay.
Now, it's not there's also a junction box right outside that I can always plug a light to. like I said, we didn't want to give it this big commercial
No.
feel in our area or in your face. We prefer that subtle look. We kind of prefer to allow our marketing and the charm of Lewisboro to kind of sell our business. So we try to keep it where it fits in our town. And not
I
just-
think it would be much clearer if we have the business plan to see, and as John says, what's open, what's not, what you
Absolutely.
want. And it'd be much easier, because we got it a little late.
Absolutely, that's,
wasn't
yeah,
able to
that's
really fluid and
that's not hard to fix, absolutely. We'd love to do that for you guys.
I
And-
just, with regards to this, sorry,
No, go ahead.
With regards to safety, I guess my thought, and I'm not sure you meet the code for parking and like the concern of when people are gonna use the space, if they're gonna sit at the borough, I understand you can't particularly define that.
Yeah.
People will just use it. But I think about King Cone on Route 100.
Yeah.
And the people that park along that area. And there are large parking plazas close by, and so people, we just finished a baseball game at the town park, let's go to the borough to eat ice cream.
Yeah.
And they can't find parking, not your fault, you met code, but you've got 100 people that want to get ice cream. And
That's a
they're
great
going to
problem to
Cameron's,
have,
they're
man.
going
That's
to
a
the
great
shopping
problem to
center
have.
and walking across. So
Yes.
and I'm not saying you're not meeting code and there's anything wrong with it, but those are the safety issues that I think about when we see similar facilities in our area. So that's to
This
your
is-
comment.
The only
It's tough.
comment I have to that is, I don't think a business owner should be punished on their success.
I agree, yeah.
You know, that's a great problem to have, right?
Right.
And that's also a problem in any way we're willing to help address. But a lot of that stuff is out of our hand. Hey, I have no problem talking to every commercial business owner in our area and asking them for $5,500 to $7,500 and me hiring an engineer to kind of take the lead on this. I brought that up to Tony. But everyone has an idea and everyone has a plan. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, okay? You know, I'm here to help in any way, but I'm not here to step on people's toes, okay? So we're here, we want to do something, right? We're open to it, we're having success, so it was worth us putting this money into this place. It was a long road, but it was worth it, right? We're excited, we take pride in what we do. So like I said, we're open to ideas, we're open to suggestions, right?
So I think, I know you have resubmitted, we've also asked, I think, for, okay, clarity on the ice machine, and I think some of the others were all pretty much, and the business plans. We're going to have you come back and look at that. I think the building inspector to look at compliance here, you know, and,
Looks like on the, I just brought up, there is a new lighting chapter.
mhm.
And it looks like that the planning board has discretion as to whether it will require a lighting plan. If you do require a lighting plan, there's very specific standards. What needs to be on that plan and illuminance levels and full cutoff and no light trespass over the property line, all these things. But the first sentence is the planning board may require a lighting plan. So I'm
Right.
guessing that you don't have to comply with this, but the board, it's up to the board.
Yeah, I'd just like to see, you've heard our concerns about safety. I think
It's
I'd like
enough,
to-
guys, with the lights there and the ice cream shop lights that are gonna go there, it's enough in my opinion. But it's not a rule breaker, again, it's not a
Right.
game changer on our part.
No, we understand that, but, you know, the safety issues, even with the.
Of course.
The King Cone issue.
Yeah.
For lack of a better way to put it. We have to look at it because you'll get sued,
Absolutely.
but the town will get sued too, for not having, you know, the appropriate.
Yeah.
And 35 is a lot different. It's like King Cone. And I know, because I go to King Cone, you open your door sometimes when you're parked on the street, and it's close call. And so that's an issue, and that's why we have to look at it, and that's why we have to bring it up.
I also think they're a very different business model. They cook food there.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you 15 to 25 minutes.
Yeah,
to
but
eat a
how many
burger.
people go there for the food? They go.
I do.
They go.
I go there for the burger. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
okay, yeah,
lie.
but
My kids
I
eat
need my ice
but
cream
I'm
code
getting burger.
afterwards.
All right.
You know?
But anyway, so I'm trying to, so I think we will need to take a closer look at the things you just submitted, because they came pretty late. We're going to have Kevin take a look at anything that might be an issue. I don't,
So do we think as a board we want a lighting plan, or?
What do you think would help us understand safety better?
I think from my personal view,
Yeah.
I'll probably walk over there some night.
That- My
Yeah,
suggestion.
So I
was,
can
'cause
get
we
my,
could
I'll
do
have
that.
an understanding from my own point of view. I mean, because this is very well thought out, but,
I'm with you, John. That's what I like to
and,
Yeah.
walk
you know,
over.
that's
All right.
the easiest way for
Awesome.
me to get an
Yeah,
assessment.
awesome.
Right, so do you
going on.
guys mind if
Site
we're
visit.
over there after hours
No,
some
not
night
at all.
now? Okay.
No,
and
not at all. Just let us know if you need us to be there.
I don't think so. I think we
No,
just
no,
want to.
we're okay.
Yeah, my safety issues are less with light than just,
with-
Well, it's crossing the street.
Well,
that-
but we-
They can only
But
do.
that's on-
Exactly.
we ran
Right,
into
right.
the
I don't know
Absolutely,
that
it's
we can
not
do
gonna
anything except make it a
I would
concern.
say then,
That
if,
part.
just to Jan's comment, reading the code, thank you, Jan, is that light you're showing on the upper section or elevation there, the one at the rear of the building, which would be right off the property line, you may, if, maybe you
Move
look
it
at
to the front?
moving it to the front of the building,
works.
because then it would just
Well, yeah,
reduce some of the lumens,
yeah.
not to
Oh,
the front of the building, just
front
the front.
side, yeah,
I
there.
don't think it would
So-
come into effect just
'Cause
because
there's
that
a
fence
fence.
behind us
You
is
think there's a
above
fence?
it.
We
Is that
also-
your fence?
I feel like
okay.
it'd be.
Is that your fence or their
We also let
fence?
this here because we have the wall mount AC unit out here.
Well, So if you need service on that.
Yeah,
Right,
need
we need
service.
service or at parking at night.
Oh,
so
yeah, but
people
if you
can
have the
see it.
fence, then you're good.
Fence is
I
up
didn't see
here.
Oh, yeah, the fence is all the way to the roof line.
Right.
So then it won't go
Okay.
to the neighbor anyway,
No.
so then you
No.
don't need for it,
No.
yeah.
But-
Yeah, I'm agreeing, I don't think we need a light.
No, I don't think we need a plan, and I'd have my own personal comfort level if I just go walk there.
Yeah.
Right, and I guess I would ask maybe Kevin to go walk there at night too and just, okay. Go out at night, right.
Come on, you don't have enough hours yet.
Well, you can leave, it's getting darker at night, you can stop on, okay. So we'll look at that, we did have a few, I think we need clarity on the ice machine and whether we need some quick clarity on.
I mean, hey, what if I told you guys we get rid of that now? And the only reason why is because before we put that in there, John and I actually changed it and we were like, hey, we're gonna make our own ice in the basement. It's just easier, and it's faster, so.
If it's better,
Yeah,
what you ought to
we're
do.
allowed- Yes, we're allowed to use a certain, so we can't use those big units, but we can use like pretty much like what you would use for a bar.
You can transport it from
Yeah.
one building outside
Yeah.
into another.
Yeah, because we're allowed, that's where we keep all our food storage as well. That's why we had to tile half the basement, surround it with like that plastic on the wall. So if you walk into the borough basement, the health department gave us strict guidelines on how we were gonna store the food and our stuff. Like everything needed to be on shelves, tile flooring. The walls couldn't be sheetrock. They had to be like, like the stuff, yes, the plastic stuff. We had to have floor drains throughout the basement. And then the other half, which is not considered our storage, it's just a regular basement. Just tile, boulder foundation still around. So yeah, as long as we keep stuff over here, right, the health department's okay with it. That's kind of how, we've already had 2 inspections.
Okay.
So,
I'm just, you should decide what you want to do and bring it to us. And that's sort of,
Awesome,
we
okay.
can't really tell you. And if you think that would help you, I thought it was to sell ice for
no, it's only for our
bag
use.
ice, okay.
No, it's
People
only,
like iced coffee.
yeah, like it.
We kind
It
of
flies.
Yeah,
underdid
so-
that.
That we
one.
did. We
So-
underfactored that.
Yeah, and so you're, so you talk in the business plan on the creamery about how important it is to have coffee and ice cream. Are you going to have like big dispensers of coffee in there for people who want it later
Like,
at night?
Yes, we could do drip coffee there, but we
okay.
won't do anything else besides drip. We won't do like espresso or anything
Okay.
like that. But drip, yes.
But if somebody comes in and says, I want a cup of
No,
coffee?
we're not gonna do that. We'll have flavored coffee, coffee milkshake. We'll have that coffee vibe, so to speak, and we'll offer drip coffee. But to the extent of throwing another espresso machine,
No,
getting a
got it.
barista, yeah, that's not happening.
Okay,
These things are from Italy, they're expensive.
They are
I don't want to do that
expensive.
again.
yeah, okay. Okay, well, I think that's answered a lot of my questions about how the interaction between your existing cafe
Yeah.
and the creamery, because I was
We want to be
confused.
able to sell our frozen Cinnabons, right, our frozen soups, frozen pizzas, right, frozen items that we sell.
Basically takeout.
Yes, and just kind of go on items that we choose we want to sell, and then also items that we have at the cafe.
Right, but it'll also be, ice cream, so I
Yes,
think there
ice
will be
cream,
that.
candy, there'll be
Right.
market items there as well.
What's a market item?
Like at the cafe, we sell olive oil, hot sauces and all
Got it.
that.
Okay.
We'll sell our own market items that would go with what this business will entail, but there will be market items there as well.
Okay, great. Okay, anybody else have anything to send these guys off with? All right, we have some work to do looking at some of the stuff
Thank you.
you gave us. We'll look forward to the business plans and some of the updates here we talked about.
Does this need to
And
go
Kevin will
to a
report back.
public hearing?
I'm sorry?
Does this need to go to a public hearing?
It probably will, but
I was looking at the prior resolution, because the original restaurant was over 10 seats, it was a special use permit, required a public hearing, but I don't know, without any new seating, whether there would be that requirement.
yeah, and that's why I think we need to know whether or not
The
the,
underlying use was limited service carry-out restaurant, 10 or more seats.
right.
That was the borough,
Yeah.
and that triggered the special permit. But if this is just a continuation of the borough with no additional seating, I'm not sure, you may want to have a public hearing, but you might not. I'm not sure if it requires an amended special use permit. Is my question.
Well, I think we're going to end up having to amend the borough resolution.
I think you're going to end up with an amended special use permit.
Yeah.
That's going to fold this in. Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to find out from Kevin whether the seating, the picnic tables are additional seating. I don't know if they count or not. Okay, great. So we will see you next
I have a
month.
question.
Yes. Sure.
Is our deck considered permanent seating or seasonal seating?
Don't know.
I believe outside, I believe it's considered seasonal outside seating.
Is it seasonal?
Because that, but,
It's seasonal?
Yeah, because,
Well-
yes, and there's specific, I think, in the code, times in which you can't use it.
Got it, okay.
right, so there's
For some
because I
reason,
think it
was
said
under-
something about 220-16 or something. I mean, was the outdoor seating stuff.
Yeah, it's seasonal outdoor restaurant seating is permissible, subject to compliance with 220-16.
Okay, awesome. I was
Yeah,
just under the
24
impression.
indoor seats in the restaurant, 12 outdoor seats total. So I guess the question is, the 12 seats were on the deck.
Yeah.
Is there a patio space in addition to that?
No, that's what I meant to say. I'm sorry, the deck, not the patio, sorry.
So the deck can't have more than 12, and then it's just a question of whether these, the tables.
Now, I gotta ask this question too. What if it's summer and we decide to pull some indoor seats out to expand outdoors? Is that gonna cause a problem for us as well?
No, you can't exceed 36 total.
Okay, so we
You can
could
go back
take
and forth.
summertime, we could take 10 from out, okay, all right, that's what we did, okay. Awesome.
I think,
Figured better be on the same page with you all.
I
Yeah.
I
You
know,
know?
yeah. The code is a little,
Weird.
yeah, we have to deal
Weird.
with it too.
Yeah,
So-
hey, nobody's blaming you. We're all
Okay.
just playing the game.
Okay, so thank you. So we will see you next month.
Thank you.
And is
Have a good
that
night.
Karen,
I'm sorry?
is that a public?
No, I don't
we
think,
haven't.
I don't think we're quite ready
There.
enough for a public
Yeah,
hearing.
we
We
have
need
that
to
one.
have some of this other stuff, but I think we will have one because we have to update the special
And you got
use
so many
permit.
letters coming in.
And there's a lot of community interest, so I'm sure we'll have. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
You too.
Okay, then the next item on the agenda is actually calendar number 16-25WP, calendar number 08-25SW. This was actually put on the agenda in error. We had decided to have it go admin in August, so I'm going to skip over that one. The next,
Did email Alan after our call and let him know, and then asked him to include, the resubmission didn't include the limited mow zone in the boulders that the board requested, so I asked him to include that in his next submission.
great, thank you. And the next item on the agenda is calendar number 19-25WP, calendar number 10-25SW. That is the Griffiths and Taub residents, 63 Lakeshore Drive in South Salem, New York. It's an application for a two-story addition. So I think in the last time we saw this, we asked about clarity about where sort of the air conditioning and other units were going to be, and we also asked for a mitigation plan that was not in the lake.
Water.
Yes, so there were, good evening, Steve Marino, Tim Miller Associates, representing 63 Lakeshore Drive. As you mentioned, there were 3 or 4 questions left at the end of the last meeting that you looked for answers for, so we've addressed those, I believe. Regarding the plantings along the lake, as it was pointed out to me, the lake is drawn down 4 or 5 feet, and therefore those plants would not survive as submergent plants as we had proposed them. So we moved some plants up on top of the retaining wall, some inkberry hollies along in the center there, pretty shrub, evergreen shrubs, some amelanchier, the shadblow trees, small trees up here, and then a redbud circus down here in the corner. There was a question about the proximity of the detention structure to the septic system. That was scaled out at 30 feet, and I also wanted to point out that this is a closed system, it's not an infiltration system, so any issues, if the health department, which the engineer confirmed for me that the health department is not going to have any issues with the distance, separation distance, but this is a closed system, so any exfiltration from the septic system wouldn't get into that system anyway, so, which is usually the concern. There was questions about the trees, and this infiltration, this detention system was originally designed for a 25-year storm per the town's code. We expanded it to a 100-year storm as part of the mitigation plan, and of course by doing that it got larger. So it's closer to, there are 3 oak trees and a white pine tree, and it's about 10 to 12 feet from the trunks of those trees. The system itself is only going to be dug down 2 to 3 feet in order to get below ground, and then grade will be replaced to the existing grade. So our hope is that there's not going to be any impact on those trees. It is a small portion of the drip line for those trees. It's really maybe 20% of the drip line on these 2 trees here. So our hope is that they'll survive, and if they don't survive, new trees will have to be planted. But we think this mitigation is kind of critical to the overall plan. So hopefully the trees will be okay with that. And the last question was regarding the air conditioning condenser unit. There was talk about putting them on the side of the building here. That was moved to the corner in the front of the building there. So that is now outside of the setback and therefore doesn't need a variance or anything else.
Can they own it from the
The area in orange that you see is the limits of disturbance within the buffer. Most of that is temporary disturbance, obviously. This is a new addition. This is a garage. An existing garage is going to be replaced with a newer, slightly larger garage. But the rest of this is really just disturbance for some grading in the driveway to clean up the driveway. Right now it's just kind of a loose gravel driveway. That'll be cleaned up. This is really just a staging area for the machines that are going to have to get down into here, so that's a temporary disturbance. Everything will be reseeded and vegetated after the work is complete. So I think those were the 4 questions that we walked away with from the last meeting. So,
Right. So
we're hoping that we can
Yeah.
now move on to the administrative part of it. So.
okay.
Did we for certain know that the AC units, where they currently were planned, was going to be an issue?
Well,
If they're in the setback.
they were going to be in the
They
setback.
need
They'd need
variance.
a variance, yeah.
Because now you're putting it on the street side.
Yeah, but there's a lot of bushes there.
There's a lot of there's
Are they behind the rhododendrons and everything?
rhododendrons and things over there.
Okay, okay.
And that can always be landscaped further if you need
Right.
it. More.
I'm just trying to
Some
think of
kind
what
a
made sense, that's all.
Natural-looking fence or something
Fine.
there to block it.
So Paul, I know you had asked for some trees, so we've got the redbud and the shad bushes?
Shadblow?
Yeah, they're not huge trees, but they're,
Well, so Jan, hopefully maybe you can better explain this. The closed drainage system, I don't know the details. Is that just dealing with
It's closed
peak
pipe.
volumes?
So it's a closed pipe system that has an orifice that size to just, it's
Slowly
controlling the rate of
discharge.
runoff. right?
So it's storage.
So,
So it
So when
fills
I
up,
was-
and then, I saw one of these before, then they had to explain it to me, because so it like fills up, but there's
Yeah.
a small drain that lets it out.
to reduce peak flow volume.
Right.
So I guess from the sense of where this application is, and I understand you're designing for a 100-year storm versus 25-year storm, and I'd rather, my perspective, I'd rather stick to the storm event and reduce the amount of excavation and disturbance to the existing large trees. On top of that, so the code notes that stormwater mitigation can act as wetland mitigation if you're controlling or using it as a, like filtration system. So this isn't, we're not treating this water. This water isn't being treated. This is just discharge from a stormwater volume.
It's volume.
So we're still getting all the pollutants from the roof runoff going down.
Yeah, there may be some deep sumps in some of the inlets that are
Helping with that.
providing some air quality, but you're correct. Yes.
Yeah,
Sump right
so-
there at the end also
Yeah.
before
Before
discharge.
it starts, yeah.
So it's, I mean, that's just not right, so that's not the nature of this type of system. So, I mean, there's pros to it, absolutely, and I'm just having,
I wonder
that's
if
my
you went
concern of
to,
weighing that.
If you did the 50-year storm, I wonder what that would do if you were able to, it seems like the trees of concern are on the north side. Those are the oaks, the pine. So if you
Poor
if you
pines.
brought that
Those were the
that
eagles.
system back, if you went through the
No,
50-year storm, and
Ah.
the length of those fields,
Yeah, can they be stepped back versus, I'm not familiar with those systems are totally
Right
know.
now, they're 12 40-foot long, 18-inch diameter pipes put in the ground to hold the
yeah, so
water.
if the length
So-
of the pipe was reduced on the tree side,
The original system was basically, the 25-year storm was basically that.
So you have to go from 25 to 100, or can you
Yeah.
go just to get outside the drip line? That's what we're
I think
talking about.
That's more up to you than it is to us. We
Yeah.
propose this as a mitigation measure. If you think there are other reasons to make that still included as mitigation, but make it a little less mitigation
Well,
in
I
order
think
to save
that's what
those
you're
trees.
talking about, is how do we
But I
try
do-
to save the tree?
Yeah, but our 100-year storms are getting to be every
Regular, I
2
know.
years, you
Tell
know,
me
so,
Well, but, I mean, absolutely, but the reality is, this system isn't managing the 100-year storm. It's eventually gonna go in the lake. So for this property, this location, the lake's getting all the water, whether it comes now or in
right.
24 hours due to this discharge. That's a minor to almost no, effect on the long downhill
I
stream.
would agree with that.
So I'm just thinking about, we're not treating the water, and the proposed plantings, definitely better. But there's a lot of disturbance. It's an opportunity to protect. Right now, it's lawn to the lake. This is helpful. But a few shrubs up to the edge of the lake, I can easily see Ilex glabra, a little bit of deer coming in the winter, and there's a lot of mitigation, I think, that could be looked at from a planting perspective, which would probably be more cost-effective and maybe more beautiful for the homeowners than a buried plastic system.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
my opinion on it. I'm not saying they're wrong. It's just a thought.
I'm hearing what Paul's saying, and I like it.
Okay.
I agree with that. I think you have a very good point on that.
Okay, and I also
got
was
it.
wondering, are those trees just sort of isolated in the shrubs, or do you have bedding around them with a really
Well,
herbaceous level?
Right now, if you've been out to the site, it's lawn right up
It's
to
lawn.
the
Right,
retaining
up to the
wall.
wall.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
certainly, we could make those mulch beds if you prefer that, rather than have it all be lawn and,
It's
With that.
easier to maintain, I think, if you don't have grass in and around the shrubs.
Yeah, and I think it delineates it a little bit more, so that might, I don't know, if that would also be something that might allow a little more, less runoff and a
Well,
little
you-
more infiltration.
But you're not going to want to do that you're not
Yeah,
going to
no.
want to do it all the way across the whole wall, because the kids are going to want access to
Yeah,
the
no,
water.
it's
Yeah, you gotta
just in little beds, because you've got some
So what I'm hearing is go back to the 25-year storm, but increase the planting
50,
to
how about 50?
Going back to 50.
50.
50. Your suggestion was good, because that
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 gets
should-
it out of the drip line of the
Yeah.
trees and still gives you
Those
some
are quite
slowdown.
nice.
Yeah.
Right.
And
they have a nice little seating area right there
Yeah.
in between those trees, and it's
I think
a
it's
nice
worth
lot.
saving those.
Right, right.
And the mitigation doesn't only, like John's saying, they're gonna wanna use the lake, we don't wanna
totally.
deter them for that. You know,
Yeah.
you have a lot of the side property, there's plenty of areas to reduce some lawn that isn't gonna impede their view or, you know, major use of the property, so, you know, other areas.
I'll work with
We're
them, see
open
if there's
to,
anything else we can.
along the driveway in the front, you know, mitigation is mitigation, plantings anyway,
Right.
you know.
And do count what they put in, because they added a lot of trees and bushes
Yeah.
since,
So,
That's great.
so you suggested we go admin. Sometimes around lakes, people like to know what's going on, and I'm going to turn to John, because you're a resident there. Do you feel that this is something that should go to a public hearing, or just to let people know what's going on?
I think people will know as soon as work starts. People already know that something's planned. Because
Do you
it's
think
been-
they will want, I mean,
A
because we could
public
do a
hearing?
public hearing and ask for a resolution the same meeting, or we could just send it admin. I think it's in pretty, it's-
I don't think we need a public hearing on this one, just because of what's being done and how far away from the water it is.
Yeah, if I could just say a couple of things. We're not adding any bedrooms, so we're not really expanding the house. It's just kind of shifting the floor plan. This garage already exists, so it's
Right,
just
and
really
you're
being
pushing it,
replaced.
you're pushing it the
And
other way.
this won't be really visible from the road. There's a fence along here, you won't really, so it's kind of, you know.
but I defer to and I
Of
would
course,
say
yeah.
we have not heard from any neighbors on this one, you know, so it isn't something that's, we haven't gotten any emails, even though our site walk.
So my
We did
opinion
get a
would-
few
my
people, yeah.
Would be no, that we don't
Okay.
need one.
I don't recall the garage with the second story, it raised like 2 feet, it wasn't much. Didn't it raise slightly?
No, it's a second
It's
story.
exactly the second same?
I don't remember how much it went up.
I mean, it's, you know, it's going out this way.
Right, but
Yeah,
didn't it go
the-
over?
the
Yeah, but it's a
profile,
second, it
because
used to be,
The house drops down, the overall house, I think, went up.
Yeah, I think this part of the house is going up to 2 stories. I don't
Yeah.
believe the garage is going.
oh, they did say something over the garage, I
Yeah,
thought. but-
unfortunately, Mr. Milano,
Yeah,
the
not
architect,
here.
wasn't able to make it.
Yeah.
Is this the one that
That would
has
be my
that
only
specimen road?
I
down
don't
in
think
the
it's
front?
much. I know I was concerned
It has
about
what
that
out
from
in
the
the front?
neighbors.
Specimen
Right.
rhododendron.
It has a big
That
rhododendron
it really
right in
wasn't
front.
gonna hit.
Yep.
That would be my
I
only
think
reason.
there was some mention made, that you're gonna move it, or you're
No,
gonna?
no, they're going to
What?
move the one there's one so where the existing house is and where it's sort of orange there with the.
On
there
the north
was-
side of the property.
Yeah, right there. There's a big rhododendron. They're going to move up along, try to move that and keep it up in the,
In the front?
move it to the front.
Oh, okay. I was remembering that there was one already in the front.
There is one.
There is one in the
Okay,
front.
fine, thanks.
There is one in the front.
That's-
Right, but they said they were going to try to save that one and move it elsewhere on the property.
Yeah, and I
to
don't
the
think
front
there's a
for
height
screening.
issue with the garages,
Right.
because I remember addressing that initially.
Okay, so does anyone else, so we have the true sale representative saying he doesn't feel that there's a need for a public hearing. Does anybody else feel like we should have one? Okay, I'd look for a motion to send this admin to, Jan, you're ready to take it,
Yeah,
right?
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Charlene. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great,
Okay,
thank you
good
very
luck on
much.
it. All right.
We'll talk.
And if people are unhappy, they're going to yell at me.
Yeah, great, okay.
John did it.
Okay, the next item on the agenda, which we had taken off and then put back on, is calendar number 21-25WP. This is the Cowell and Sarah residence, 34 Old Pond Road, South Salem, New York. And we heard from the applicant that there was some concern that the ZBA didn't want to deal with it until they knew what we thought, and of course, we can't approve anything until we have ZBA agreement. So I called up Duff Price, who's the chair of the ZBA, and asked him what they needed from us. And he said he wanted, before the ZBA could consider where it is, they wanted to make sure that we were okay with the location of the garage now moved off the wetland. And then they would look at the location of the garage and decide whether or not to give it a variance, and then we could finish our review. Did I state that right? Okay. So I had this discussion, so what, unless there's further discussion, what I'd like to get is a motion or an approval for me to send a letter to the ZBA on behalf of the planning board that basically says, while we have not completed our review, we have looked at the revised location of the garage. Our consultants and the board agree that it's removed far enough from the wetland for them to evaluate it in terms of a variance.
I'll make a
I-
motion.
I would go with it,
Yeah.
although it's an oddity, but, yeah.
If that's what they're looking, this
Yes,
is. you know,
right,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, we're not gonna,
And we're not going to pass upon, obviously, anything with regard to what the ZBA.
no,
should
no,
do,
I
because we have a
understand
general- yeah, we-
completely, but it is an oddity.
Right, but, well, and there's still some work that, I mean, the deep hole test or the perk test, I don't remember which it was, for the rain garden has to be done, there's some things, so we have to get, but if you're okay, so
Yes.
you made the
Yeah.
motion,
I'll second it.
seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we need to get, they meet tomorrow, so
You're going to be busy.
we need to get that. But I think it's really kind of a, we're not done, but we're okay with the location.
Right.
And I hope that will do it for you.
I hope that will too. Thank you very much for your
Okay.
consideration of doing it. We've whittled down the list of comments from your consultants. I think we're getting pretty close. We did try to do a perk test, but we found water standing at the bottom of our hole, which is what we expected. So, 3 foot below the grade is standing water. So we've anticipated that, and the design of the rain garden is such that it's really storing 100% of the volume of the rain over the event. And then, of course, as you heard the last application, let it down slowly into the lake, into the existing culvert, such that current drainage pattern that's there now. The other thing that might have changed since we
And I'm
last
sorry, you should tell your name to the
Sure.
recorder.
It's Bob Ebert. It's Thanks. Sure.
I know, but the machine needs to know. Okay.
Machine, here I am. The one thing I wanted to point out after the last time we met at the site was that you pointed out a couple of different locations that you thought we could add some mitigation. And this is the garage location, and it's really, we had that existing mitigation area that was shown here around, that we're keeping. But also at the top of that access way, wanted some gravel put in there, we're doing that. We also, the owner has already planted a significant area here just below the existing septic fields, removed the invasive species and put in wetland plantings there.
That's right next to the driveway there,
Yep.
just to
That's
the, okay.
correct. Yes, the
Right corner.
driveway and the road.
Right down
The
there.
septic is here, and
Yep.
the driveway comes right down there. And then lastly, the town added this culvert right there and drained it onto their property, thank you very much. And of course, it's eroded about 4 feet deep at this point. So what we propose to do is go in and add about 6-inch diameter large gravel items to keep that water, keep that soil from running off. We're not going to continue that culvert anywhere else, but we're just going to try to slow that water down so it doesn't, do as much damage to the
Yeah,
site
it doesn't
as it's
erode as
currently
much.
doing right now.
Yeah.
So that was the most significant change I think we've made to the application, other than kind of whittling through the comments that we made.
Thank you. Yeah, so the only thing I want to make sure is you don't put the stones in and then have the town come through and scoop them all out. Could you just make sure that John Winter knows that you're doing that? He's the highway?
Yes, I've been in touch with him.
Oh, okay, good.
I told him that we're doing it, he didn't have an objection, but didn't say that he wasn't going to disturb it again.
Right. Okay, well, if he knows that something's been done, one hopes that that will get communicated to the team. Okay. All right. Great, well,
At this point, can we move it?
we can't, no, because we have to wait for ZBA, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I'm hoping, that's tomorrow.
Yes,
night, right?
sorry, I
So-
forgot, yes.
So,
Did you want to schedule a public hearing, or did you want to consider waiving public hearing at this point?
so my sense is that the public has had an opportunity to come to the ZBA meetings multiple times, and that if anybody had wanted to say something to us, they would have gotten word to us, or, so I am inclined to say the public knows that it's going on, they've had a chance to comment, but we can't do anything until we get the,
You can't do that.
but, so I think if your question was, do we want to set up a public hearing for the, for the December meeting, I would tend to say no. I don't know if we could ask for a resolution and we don't have to vote on it unless the ZBA says okay. Can we do that? No, we could send it admin, because
We're gonna go admin.
we have to send it
Yeah, we don't need
admin.
any of that.
Then we don't need, because otherwise we have to do a public hearing. All right.
Jack, would it be possible to get a letter from the woman who objected to the way the
The neighbor.
garage was
That
located?
was
she's-
windows, that was about windows.
She was windows, but
And
she's.
they've taken care of
she's-
that.
Or windows?
She's
yeah.
she's at the ZBA meetings.
Oh, okay, great,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
fine.
And if she wanted to come talk
Okay,
to
no,
us,
no, no, that's-
or
that's
send us a
fine.
note, I
Yeah.
think she knows how to do that.
I would not stir that.
Yeah. So, okay, so our,
So you're writing a letter, then we're going to get it back, and then we can move it to admin.
admin, that's
Yeah.
the scheme.
In December, right?
That's the scheme. I hope we will,
Okay. Well, we can't have a resolution made for the December meeting.
well, if we send it admin, we don't need a
You don't
resolution.
need one. I understand.
Right.
Thank
I
you.
had that same-
Appreciate it. My mistake.
Nope, I did the same thing.
Asking for the
It's
resolution.
late, I'm confused.
Right. Okay.
Thank you very much again for your.
Thank you, and sorry about that confusion of having you off and then on, but, okay. The next item on the agenda is calendar number 14-25 WP. This is the Fulton residence, 321 Walkabuck Road in Goldens Bridge, New York. We've passed 9 o'clock. This might be our latest meeting for quite a while. Sorry, this is an application for a patio, stone wall, and seating area. Yes, so.
Hi, good evening. Andy Chung, AC Engineering. I'll try to make this quick, so it's, you don't go way too fast. Very simple project. I'm representing the Fultons, 321 Walkabuck. There's an existing single-family dwelling, and we're proposing approximately 723 square feet, stone patio, walkway, and a little seating area outside the existing deck. The stormwater, well, basically there's a pond on the premises which is located right here. So a lot of this work is within the 100-foot wetland buffer. So what we're planning on doing is doing some wetland mitigation plantings, as well as treating the stormwater from the patio and the walkway areas. And the way we were going to be doing that was a small bioretention basin rather than the rain garden, only because I knew that the area near the pond wasn't really sure, most likely hydro-type soils. That said, I did do some deep test pits in that area, and we were actually able to get down to 7 feet with actually pretty decent soils. I contacted Jan's office just to schedule someone from your office to come and witness the deep test pits. I did not do a percolation test because this is actually a bioretention basin rather than a rain garden. So the whole purpose of the bioretention basin is there's going to be a certain amount of bioretention mix, which is typically like a concrete sand and topsoil mixture, which allows water to percolate through that mixture, attenuating the volume, and then also addressing water quality. So as that water pumps down through the bioretention media, it'll go into a 6-inch perforated pipe, which will discharge into the pond. So we didn't do any perk tests.
I don't think we knew it was bioretention.
Yes, yeah. So the plan was to do a bioretention basin. That said, in speaking with the contractor, I may go out there and actually do a perk test anyways, just because we might end up seeing if we can do Coltex instead of a bioretention basin. If the soils perk well, just construction cost-wise, I think possibly looking at the cost of doing some Coltex as opposed to additional grading and excavating and filling and mulching and additional plantings in that bioretention basin may be a little bit cheaper than doing the bioretention basin. So
Which one has?
System be in a different location as that you did the deep tests?
correct. So I did a deep test right here.
Mhm.
There's the 3 pine trees that are right here. I was possibly looking at doing a deep test here and
So
doing
deep in a perk.
right, correct, a deep in the perk
Okay.
here. So
Just
that's
contact us if you want to do that.
yeah. So that's kind of in the works. As far as everything else, the comments are pretty straightforward. A lot of them has to do with, you know, really dotting i's and crossing t's, showing where the septic is, showing where the existing utilities are. And then basically the 723 square feet of additional patio impervious area where we're going to be doing a wetland mitigation planting of approximately 723 square feet.
So that's that area there. So is that right against the pond?
Yes.
Okay. And, but there's still, the other part of the pond, is that grass right up to it?
Everything is grass.
Okay.
Yes.
Anybody have any,
No.
I mean, I think yes?
What's the elevation difference between where you want to do it and where you did the deep hole?
I did the deep test pit right here.
And you want to put the
The-
subsurface treatment up, or you're still going to do that?
Well, this is where I had proposed the bioretention basin.
Yes.
If I'm going to do a perk test and I determine that the soils perk well enough for me to put Coltex in, I would put them here.
So-
Everything here is at a lower elevation
Okay,
than here.
so I'm asking, what is the elevation difference between where the Caltex are going in, where you've got your bio thing down below?
The
Plant.
elevation here
Yeah.
and the elevation
Yes.
here, it's half a foot. It's all down here. It's all pretty much the same elevation.
And that's where you got, you went down
Yeah,
5, 6
I was-
feet?
yeah, I was
And
I
there
wasn't
no-
there. Someone, I don't know,
It was good
apparently
soil.
someone from my office was.
Yeah, I actually did it this afternoon.
Okay, so was somebody in my office there?
No, yeah, I left a message with Danielle.
Oh. So we'll have to witness the new testing.
Right. Does the pond flow anywhere, or is that kind of just everything sinks here, or does it exit, come in and go out? What?
So there is an open grate catch basin that's not on the Fulton's property. There's an overflow, so as the pond level rises, it comes to the top of the curb. There's look to be like probably either 12-inch or culvert, which goes towards the street.
Okay. All right, thank you. Yes?
So I'm just trying to make sure I understand the 750 square feet, that's impervious surface?
Correct. So
And
there's
is that planting to mitigate the impervious surface? Is that what we're?
So I think it's not, if I understand it correctly, it's not so big that it requires stormwater, but they're putting in stormwater to either in the retention or the Coltec now. Is that correct? And
Yeah,
so that's going to handle that, and then the overall disturbance is the mitigation plan.
Okay, and is there a planting plan for that area?
Yes.
Yes, so I have proposed a series of silky dogwoods, viburnums, typical Appendix D in the Stormwater Design Guide of local native species that are readily available within the
Thank you.
area.
Appendix Z, we
Yeah.
got to remember that, okay.
Administrative.
All right, so is it the sense of the board that we could send this admin? And if it is, then I need a motion.
I would just say I'm in favor of the bioretention area, but you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're good if they're maintained, and I don't know if there's a difference in maintenance, but I do know, I've seen bioretention things that turn into these gorgeous areas. I mean, even if you're not planted like a rain garden, they get good things growing them. But I understand. I mean,
Cost us
Do what you gotta do.
I'd rather get it done and have it, have the water treated.
If you do the Coltex, are you going to still keep that planting area that's closer to the pond? That's like not
Yeah,
associated?
that was one of the requirements, right? Since we're taking 723 square feet of impervious area,
Yeah.
we'll give back the 723 square feet in
And
the
then
form
do
of
the
land.
Coltex.
We would just eliminate the bioretention basin and just do 2, 3, 4 Coltex for treatment of the stormwater patio. But if we were to keep with the bioretention basin, I'll have a conversation with the Fultons with what exactly we want to do. But of course, the Coltex will be based on what I get for appropriate.
I mean, yeah, I understand the maintenance, the cost of putting something in and the maintenance, but, okay, so,
I'll make a motion, we move this to admin.
okay,
I
John?
second.
Seconded. Any further discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
So now you'll just talk with Jan on the follow-ups. Okay, thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay,
Have a good night.
you too. The next item on our agenda, calendar number 29-25 WP, calendar number 13-25 SW. This is the Bua Residence, 6 Dogwood Lane in Pound Ridge. And this is an application for a pool, patio, deck, and porch.
Good evening.
Hello.
My name is Frank Blue. I'm here with my mother.
Hi.
We built this house. We built this with my father back in 1988. As a member of the community for a long time, she's decided to remain in the community. Myself and my siblings are around and members of the community. This application follows up the approved building permit for 6 Dogwood Lane, complete renovation of the three-bedroom structure. We're here tonight to talk to you about our pool application as well as our site plan for some other things that are necessary in this construction. I know 1,700 square feet does sound like a lot, so I decided just to give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on in terms of where that comes from, and then I'd like to talk about some of the other things that are kind of necessary. This is the proposed new pool area. Get you turned around the right way. Although the number seems like a lot, when you look at the pool, it's really just the small patio and area surrounding the pool. There is a proposed outdoor kitchen. There is no means for food preparation there. There's just a grill, refrigerator, food prep area, no plumbing. The
No
septic is
plumbing,
on
okay.
the opposite side of the lot.
Okay.
I'd be very hard pressed to get drainage to the septic from there.
Okay,
We've been working on this a long time. I've been in contact with Jan's office for probably about a year now,
wow.
going back and forth. So whereas we might not be able to get to a resolution tonight, we're interested in what you have to say so we can get to a resolution next month. As you know, wetlands codes have changed and we now have to go to the DEC for approval before we speak to the town. This incurs another cost and more time. Yet another reason I'd like to speak to you before we further invest time and money into this project. We talk about decks. Currently, the whole house has a deck wrapped around it. So I'm a little unsure as to why the deck makes it to the permanent application or not. The deck is being removed and replaced.
The deck really has nothing to do with the
Okay, well, it's just, it's on the title block of we're here for a deck, right? It says it. But in any event, I just, beyond that, we have another concern. When we're doing this house, we will be we have a utility pole that is currently existing, and it's pretty much right against the house right now. That is a nice X pole. The pole is not in good shape. It needs to be replaced. The engineer has located the pole here. Pretty much the whole property sits inside the buffer.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do anything without being in the buffer. We have had NICEAG come out. They have given us another pole location. This will not be the location. It's actually here, so the amount of disturbance is actually probably less to the buffer as a whole. But the pole does need to be replaced, and we would like to have it relocated because currently it sits, I don't know, probably about 20 feet from the house, less. And it's an original pole from 1987, 1986. So in doing so, we're looking to get an underground service through the buffer to the house from the extended pole. We did receive the 21 comments from Jan's office. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to reply to all of them before tonight. A lot of them have been addressed in these drawings in terms of how we're controlling our runoff. You know, there does need to be some changes made. I do understand his comment about the 1,000 square feet for the rain garden and the ring, so we're probably gonna have to go to a different system, a detention system or something of that nature, but it seems that this square footage is too great for a rain garden according to...
1,000 square feet.
Yeah, we're more than that. You did ask for some clarification on some of this, so we were hoping to make this pervious surface. This was supposed to just be grass underneath these pavers. So I'm looking to you guys for a little clarification on how the code reads there, if that can be considered pervious, because it would reduce, if there was just grass under these pavers and it wasn't set on concrete bases, it could still consider...
How do you have grass underneath the paver?
Or gravel.
It could be designed as a pervious system.
Okay, just so I know where to move.
Yeah.
With what you know, in an effort to get things your way. Beyond that,
So is the
Yes.
pool proposed to be chlorine or salt?
salt,
Salt.
yeah. I mean, we can't get to a pool permit yet per se because the steps for the wetlands permit.
I'm
it's
just,
so-
but one of
yeah.
the problems is once you have salt and you try to do drawdowns, you have salt, which never goes away, as opposed to chlorine, which dissipates, so.
We'd be happy to take your direction in that matter. Right now, I'm just trying to get to a
Yeah.
point where I can tell a pool company, this is the size of the pool I'd like to build.
Right.
And how much does it, where do I, and when, and how, I unfortunately, with how the system works, these
I'm
steps
sorry,
come
but
first.
you know, just, I
Yeah.
want to know what you want, because,
We'd love a pool. So my
Yeah.
mother can have all her grandchildren, all come over.
Right.
And she can
No, and,
enjoy
no,
life
but I
and
meant
continue to pay the taxes.
chlorine or salt, because salt, I mean, salt everywhere, that people have water softeners and stuff, but it is a little more, if you, chlorine abates as it gets into the
We'd be happy
drawdowns.
to make that clarification on the pool permit and go either way.
Okay.
I think right now, what I'm really trying to get a sense of is how to go about orchestrating a wetlands permit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you have a tough lot. Are you doing anything different to the driveway, and what is the surface on the driveway now?
Driveway's gravel, has been gravel for
And it's going to stay
4 years
gravel?
old, yeah.
Okay.
The driveway is, just so you're aware, is close to a half mile long.
It
It's a
looks
common
long
driveway
and it
that comes
looks,
in from Cross Pond Road to Dogwood Lane, and it's quite a bear, to be honest with you.
yeah.
But this is all,
I mean, it looked like it came in and went around.
The
and- yeah.
driveway's all the way, we're off the back side of the residence here.
Okay.
The driveway comes in the front here and continues down to the other way.
No more paper, right?
No, no, it's a shared driveway.
Okay. So what we need, and I think Jan's comment has quite a bit of stuff, but as you've heard, what we look for is mitigation. Now, if you don't have as much hardscaping, so somehow either put, and, I don't know whether it's those permeable pavers, that have grass in between them, which might have been what you meant, or
That's
gravel
what we were
or
trying
something.
for, but I mean, honestly, if we could, we would like this to be our application. We would like the 1,700 square feet. We believe we have the means to mitigate the water.
The water, but the.
For my stormwater.
Right, but, so because it's so big, stormwater can't serve as mitigation here. So you need to give us mitigation plantings or mitigation,
You have to develop a wetland mitigation.
wetland
Okay,
mitigation.
so that, we would, after speaking to my engineer at length, it is my understanding that we need an engineer who does that specifically with the wetlands. Why I felt it was important to come here tonight was if I got a lot of feedback from the board that this idea in any of its capacity will not work for you, I'm at a point where, to be perfectly honest, between permit fees and engineering fees, and keep in mind, I'm a contractor in town, so I do know exactly how much all this costs regularly. I'm at a personal decision here with my family where we kind of have to make some decisions. So if the board is looking at this as a complete reach and we see no way to come to a compromise, I'm at a loss to hire another engineer for $5,000. As it is, I'm paying for two, right? One and mine, that's two.
Yeah. I hear you. But, so, because,
So beyond that, to your
Right.
point, I'm curious to see what other things you may have to say that were not addressed, maybe in these 21 points, which would lead me to come back here in a month and
Right.
answer those 21 points, as well as any other concerns you might want to bring up tonight.
right, so I think one of the major pieces in those 21 is it's already mentioned, but it's the mitigation. So you're disturbing, you've heard people talk before about disturbing within the buffer. We look for 1-to-1, so with that amount of space and the wetlands that you have, there's probably, I don't know whether we would want to go out and do a site walk or something, but there might be invasives that could get removed, and you could plant.
Well, so while we're talking about that, and this is a question again I have for you, we have to deal with this utility issue. So I'm in the buffer with disturbance for this utility issue as well. I'm in the middle of a tree cutting permit as it is, because what has to happen is this new telephone pole is right here,
Okay.
if you will, for sake of argument. All the trees, due to the NICEAG requirements and the cutting box that you have to do, are going to be removed, likely, which there's not a ton, and most of them are copper beeches, which are all dying. They have that blight, as we all well know, because they're running, are going to be removed from here to there anyway, leaving this open for mitigation or whatever else needs to be done. I mean, we do have a well over here. I mean, there's the well is on this side, so there are things to consider, but we do have a decent amount of property still left to work with.
Okay, because that's,
And the wetlands, even though we're 50 feet off the buffer, we're also 50 feet higher. That's a hill that goes all the way down to a little stream.
so all that stuff runs down the hill. That's what we want to, I mean, that's our thing, is to try to say, you're going to be disturbing, you need to make sure, and that, so you could find probably, so yes, what we typically look for is there are wetland delineators that'll write a report, and they will tell you, these are the kind of plants that would make sense. And you might have heard a little bit, we like trees, especially if you're cutting some, if you could plant some, even if there's, shrubs, we like
A
herbaceous.
site visit may also be helpful for you to see this area, because I don't know how long any of you guys have lived in town, but I guarantee you, I've never seen you back there. The only way you can see this is with a helicopter, really. So, I mean, it's buried back in the middle of the woods, which is part of the reason we were not willing to relocate. I mean, it's a really, really special place. So we're definitely committed to keeping that vibe. We're not, there's two neighbors who occupy that whole 40 acres.
Wow.
I think we understand your issue, but it's hard to give you.
Yeah, again, I'm not looking for a resolution tonight.
Well, not even, like,
Yep.
we need to look at something even to give you some ideas on something.
Okay, have you
And-
looked
and
at anything that
that's-
was presented to date?
There's a lot of issues outstanding. Just to say, looking at that, I could not, this is personally, I could not make a decision on it and say to you, yes, I will vote for it.
Yes, I understand.
Or I think, that it has possibilities, because really it's not developed sufficiently
Okay.
for myself. I'm not speaking for the
No, I
board.
understand that completely. And if I had gotten those comments sooner, I would have been happy, but getting them so soon as the
You weren't
13th.
expected to address the.
Yeah, I would have liked to. We've been working on this a long time.
I don't think we have been working on this a long time.
Oh, God.
I
Not
looked
here.
back on my emails and there was,
Yeah, we talked 2 or 3 times a year ago. You spoke to my mother on the phone
might have
about
talked,
it.
but there's been no.
I can only push the engineer so hard. You know how that goes.
Okay, but I don't want to give the
No,
board
no,
the
no,
impression that we are making submissions.
Listen,
This was
this
the
has
first
just
one.
been tongue in cheek, because it was like, well, how do we start the renovation? We
Right.
want to add a pool. Well, the first thing you should do is get that, split that permit off. So, I've been kind of talking to everyone to try to go about this the best way. And remember, I work in this town every day, so I'm rather sensitive to politics here and doing the right thing.
Okay.
We complete a lot of work. in
Yeah,
Lewisboro.
there's no politics in it, it's just seeing a.
Yep, no, I understand. So I will work with my engineer to complete your 21 points that have been brought forth. But I felt that, given the opportunity, it would be beneficial to everyone to try to see if there were any other concerns that I could.
Couldn't.
Go ahead, Bruce.
Your best resource is your engineer,
Yes, I understand that.
okay? Value in that engineer is that engineer's ability to say to you, how can he most reasonably address this, okay? That's really the essence of this, okay? I would encourage you to do that so that then you come here with a plan that your engineer has given you for how we can do this most reasonably for
Yep.
you. And that engineer feels that in doing that he is satisfied what our code is about.
Yep. So we did present one plan already, and that's where we come back with the comments, so we do have to
The
come back.
comments are there because the plan's incomplete.
I understand that completely.
And also, the plan that you presented doesn't meet the New York State DEC design manual. He's got a rain garden over bedrock. I mean, there's a lot of things that, these comments aren't just.
I agree with you, but
There's-
I'm here advocating for myself. so
I understand, but I don't want to give
you know,
the, you've mentioned the 21 comments like 4 or 5 times, and they're there because
There's a reason.
there's a reason.
I understand that.
Okay.
I would have loved to have the opportunity for Ralph to work on them before I got here tonight to better make use of your time, is what I'm saying to you now.
Let me ask you a question. What has your engineer's name is?
Ralph Alfonsetti.
Okay. Has he given you a plan that he feels that he can execute?
He did.
And then to address these 20, did he do the plan that got the 20?
Yes, correct. That's correct. So we submitted something, and to Jan's point,
Yeah.
there are things that need to be addressed.
Okay.
So those comments got to me on the 13th. I'm not sure when those drawings got to Jan. I just don't remember offhand. And there are things that obviously need to be addressed, so we do have to come back. But after speaking to him and saying, I have a planning board meeting,
Yes.
he said, I think it's valuable that you go to get the board's input, so
Right.
that while I'm addressing these comments, if there's anything else or there's other stuff that we have to take into consideration, we can do that.
Okay, so one of the things that Jan's memo did say is to refer this to the building inspector for compliance, so
For
we'll.
zoning.
Right, so we'll send it, if everyone agrees, we send it?
Yeah.
All right, any other comments at this point?
Should we do a sidewalk?
Well, that was going to be my next question. What do you think?
When I look at the site and the elevations on there, I think it would probably be worth doing.
I think it's a fairly substantial size thing, right?
Yeah, I would like to know more about it before I take a site, because
If I may?
Yeah.
One point that Jan brought up in his thing, which I thought was beneficial, was a request for photographs of the existing conditions and the area.
Something that helps very often.
I'm perfectly happy to, I mean, we're there working, we got a huge renovation going on, please come on by and check it out. But if it works for you, I believe there was an item that did request photographs of the existing conditions and area, which we are more than happy to provide if that saves dragging everyone out there. Either way, we're amenable.
Bruce, it looks like you wanted to say something.
I'd do a lot better if there was a proposal from the engineer. He's got an idea of what Jan is saying.
We did do tests. I mean, we did do testing. We didn't have the town yet, but I did do tons of deep water tests, all kinds of testing. So this has been something that, I've been spending time on, going through the property, trying to come up with an organized way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the comments, while there are a number of them, they're all relatively straightforward. I don't
Yes.
think Ralph will have any issue.
No, and I think some of them I don't want to go out on a limb, but I think some of them were in fact illustrated on that drawing.
Sure.
Maybe they need to be improved upon, or
That's fine. But I
they
think
were
from
more
our
boilerplate.
sense as a board, or for me, and my perspective of it is, I think the project is what you want, which is
Yep.
fine. And then from what we're looking at as a wetlands is really the mitigation. And it sounds like that's the biggest thing. So how do you, stormwater is one element, which is pretty straightforward, but the planting, the restoration, the mitigation to the wetland disturbance area,
Yes.
I think is what you're lacking right now. And
Yes,
what
I would
we
agree with that
need to,
wholeheartedly.
we care more, or from my perspective, what I would care more about, because it's a relatively straightforward. You want to put a pool, patio, and living spaces. So how are you going to care for that because you are so close? So seeing the site before or after, I mean, I'm fine with photos, and I'll leave to the board, but I do see in some fashion, whether we go before getting that second submission, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, the only reason that I am thinking going in December instead of maybe January, February is that sometimes
Yeah.
there's,
That driveway's no fun.
yeah, is it steep?
Yeah, well, yeah. It goes up and then it goes down, and it's quite a driveway.
So that would be my one thing, is that if we've got snow, you can't necessarily see what's going on. Now,
Right.
might not snow this year, who knows, but.
Yeah, to me, it doesn't matter. I'm good going.
Yeah, I didn't.
If
think
you
of
are
this.
going to come out
Yeah.
for a site visit, which I do encourage, if there's anything you'd like me to demonstrate visually for you,
Yeah,
I
so
would ask
what
that
we-
we could get that information ahead of time. So
What
that I
we
could be
usually,
more
what would
prepared.
help us is, I assume, I mean, the house is there, so
Yeah.
if you could sort of put
Stake
the corners, like, this is going to be,
Yeah, yeah, I do.
like, the corners
Yep.
of those things,
We
right?
could take, and
Yeah,
stake
or-
that out
or-
for you. Absolutely.
I mean, you can stake them, you
Yeah,
could put,
that's not a problem.
some people have put, tape on the ground, or not tape,
Ribbon.
ribbons, something, I mean, yeah, give us a sense of what is going to be there. We typically come the Saturday before our next meeting, which I think would be December 13th.
Okay.
So as long as nobody's going to Army Navy, which is down in somewhere south-ish Baltimore.
I do have one question,
Sure.
Obviously, I understand the concerns relative to this work and the pool and the patio. I'm at a little bit.
Wait, when you were saying this work, you're pointing at the existing house?
This.
Oh, okay, got it.
I understand that. Where I'm at a little bit of, I need some guidance or some permission, is I am at a point where we need to move this telephone pole.
Get that going, right?
Yeah, and I gotta move the pole, and I logistically, to service the renovation end of the project and prevent this pole from, I need disturbance to dig through the wetlands
You could file
buffer.
a separate.
That was gonna be my question, what
Which
would
would then
be,
be
what-
administrative.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that could be
Just right
like
through- right
just
through
a specific, this is my need it would go to Jan. Jan would say
So
it's
yeah, I would
less
say
than,
separate that out and just give you a separate application for the
Yeah.
relocation
Yeah.
of the pool.
'Cause that's
and
an
the-
administrative cap.
And the
Yeah.
service, and the electrical service.
Just identify the tree removal, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to do that with the tree permit with Kevin.
right,
That works
so
for
it's,
everybody?
yeah, because it's going to be, I think, minimal disturbance.
absolutely.
And that is not in the same
Okay, and
category,
that
so
would-
he can handle it.
That would definitely help me service the other part of the project.
All right,
Get my say. Because they're kind of, what are we doing here? We got to
Okay,
move
okay,
this,
got it.
what?
so 9 a.m. on the 13th, December?
Fine.
That, all right with you? And we will journey up that driveway and take a look.
Okay.
And I think, I mean, like I said, I do understand the desire for more information, but I hope there won't be snow by the 13th, and there might be later, so.
It's hard for us to give you too much direction
I
based on what
completely
we're seeing.
understand. I'm just,
You know, you don't see elevations, you have no idea what relates to what, you know. And not that I'm asking you to do those
No,
now,
I
I'm
did
not.
think we provided topo and elevations. That wasn't part of the
Topo,
the
I
stuff we
see.
did submit,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, great. So we will see you on the
Okay, so
13th,
do-
and if there's more information submitted before our next meeting, we'll see that. But, you know, I think, again, I think as Paul said, and as we've all tried to convey, we are going to be interested in the mitigation for the wetland disturbance. Okay,
All right,
great.
well, we'll see you on the 13th, and then
Right, right.
hopefully
And
we'll
then
see
are
you
we
next
on for the
month.
next meeting?
I think if you submit something, yeah, you have to
Yeah.
give us something more to look at, but
What's the
I'm,
deadline for that?
November 25th.
ooh, Thanksgiving,
Well, it looks like somebody will be busy.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, thank you
Okay.
very much for your time.
Bye-bye.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is really the meeting dates that we distributed last,
Oh, I think it's spot on.
No. So I saw that, you know, this.
I'm sorry?
No. Where the pool is in relation to the house, in relation to the drop-off.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is to approve the planning board meeting dates for 2026. So if everybody had a chance to look at them, you know, do we do this by a motion, or we do it once a year? We just,
I don't ever remember doing
I
this, believe it or not.
Yeah,
I think we just say these are,
yeah, we just approve it. Yeah, things, yeah.
okay, so
Yes.
by consensus, the
Yeah.
board approves the meeting dates and gives Kirsten the authorization to publish them.
Really.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the New Canaan, Connecticut Planning and Zoning Commission. They're proposing to slightly amend the New Canaan Town Code language that really discusses the locations of religious institutions. I'd look for a motion to the board for me to send a letter to the town board saying, to our town board, saying we have no comment, because I think,
I'll make a motion that you send a
I'll
letter.
second it.
okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have minutes from October 21st that Kirsten has distributed. Look for a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes from the 23rd.
21st, October 21st.
Sorry.
I'll
Seconded
second
by-
it on any day.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Our next meeting date is December 16th, 2025. Look for a motion to adjourn the meeting at 9:38.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody wants to go home.
And Bruce seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Hoping everyone has a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we do not have to move it because the zoning board is